10 Battlestar Galactica characters and their Star Trek counterparts. When it comes to science fiction TV royalty, Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek sit comfortably near the top of the hierarchy. While Star Trek has built a sprawling multi-series universe over nearly 6 decades, Battlestar Galactica, particularly the 2004 reimagined series, carved out a space of its own, offering gritty realism, moral ambiguity, and deeply flawed characters in a universe constantly teetering on the edge of extinction. Yet despite their different approaches, these two franchises explore similar themes: identity, leadership, sacrifice, and what it means to be human. Interestingly, many Battlestar Galactica characters have striking parallels to their Star Trek counterparts. Whether by archetype or moral journey, the connections are too good to ignore. Here's a look at 10 major Battlestar Galactica characters and their Star Trek counterparts. 1. Commander William Adama, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. Both Adama and Picard are the moral centers of their respective crews. Adama, the battle-hardened yet compassionate leader of the Galactica, leads with wisdom and restraint even as the world crumbles around him. Picard, especially in The Next Generation, similarly balances firmness with philosophy, always striving for peace and diplomacy, but never shying away from hard decisions. Their leadership styles prioritize integrity, loyalty, and intellect. When Picard tells a crew member, "The first duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth," it echoes Adama's frequent appeals to honor and purpose. Both men also serve as father figures, not just literally, Adama with his son Lee, but to their entire crews. 2. Laura Roslin, Captain Benjamin Sisko. President Roslin and Captain Sisko are both reluctant leaders thrust into roles of immense responsibility during crisis. Sisko didn't want to be the emissary of the prophets any more than Roslin wanted to be the president of humanity during a genocide, but both rise to the occasion with resolve. Both characters deal with fate, politics, and war in complex ways. Roslin walks the line between political pragmatism and spiritual visions, while Sisko learns to navigate the Bajoran religion and eventually embraces his mythic role. And like Roslin, Sisko doesn't hesitate to get his hands dirty. Remember in The Pale Moonlight? These two understand that survival sometimes demands moral compromise. 3. Kara Starbuck Thrace, Commander William Riker. Starbuck is the maverick pilot, prone to insubordination, driven by instinct, and haunted by a troubled past. While TNG's Commander Riker may appear more polished on the surface, both characters serve as the passionate right hands of their captains and are trusted implicitly. Riker, like Starbuck, is fiercely loyal, unafraid to challenge authority, and often serves as the emotional and strategic bridge between crew and captain. And while Starbuck leans into chaos and prophecy far more than Riker ever would, both explore the theme of potential, often realizing it only after battling internal demons. 4. Gaius Baltar, Dr. Julian Bashir. Both Baltar and Bashir are brilliant scientists with massive egos, questionable loyalties, and complicated relationships with their own humanity. Baltar is more morally compromised, of course. His betrayal of the human race alone earns him a special place in sci-fi infamy, but both characters struggle to reconcile genius with conscience. Bashir, particularly in Deep Space Nine, evolves from a naive intellectual into a more grounded and conflicted figure, especially after his genetically enhanced past is revealed. Baltar's journey, though darker, reflects a similar crisis of identity. What happens when a man's intellect becomes his greatest weapon and his worst liability? 5. Number 6, 7 of 9. Number 6 and 7 of 9 are both enigmatic, alluring figures defined by their relationships with humanity and technology. Number 6 is a silent, artificial, and seductive, yet plagued by emotion and doubt. 7 is a former Borg drone, disconnected from the collective but still haunted by its influence. Their stories revolve around reclaiming agency. 6, especially in her Head 6 form, acts as both a moral guide and manipulative force to Baltar, while 7 gradually discovers her individuality and wrestles with emotion. Both challenge the human characters around them to reflect on what it means to be human in a post-organic world. 6. Lee, Apollo, Adama, Tom Paris. Lee Adama and Tom Paris are sons of legacy, Lee of Admiral Adama, and Paris of a Starfleet admiral, and both struggle to define themselves outside that shadow. Both are pilots, both deal with authority issues, and both swing between loyalty and rebellion. Lee's arc includes intense internal conflicts over duty, morality, and politics. He eventually shifts from pilot to politician. Paris, though never as gravitas-laden, similarly evolves from cocky rebel to dependable officer aboard Voyager. At their core, both are men trying to live up to and break free from expectations placed on them since birth. 7. Saul Tigh, Chief Miles O'Brien. Tigh and O'Brien are grizzled, working-class warriors, lifers who hold starships together with grit and a bottle of something strong. Tigh is the Galactica's XO and a deeply flawed man with a drinking problem and a violent temper. O'Brien, by contrast, is the everyman engineer, always reliable but constantly battered by war, family strain, and PTSD. Both men represent the toll of constant conflict. They're not poster boys like the captains, they're the backbone, the ones who bleed behind the scenes. And both show that the hardest part of war isn't always the fight, it's living with yourself afterward. 8. Sharon Boomer Valerii and Michael Eddington. Sharon's betrayal of the Galactica in Season 1 is one of the series' most shocking moments. Her internal conflict between silent programming and human emotion mirrors Eddington's shift from Starfleet officer to Maquis trader in DS9. Both characters believe they're doing the right thing, even if it means betraying the uniform. Boomer struggles with her dual identity, sometimes acting heroically, sometimes devastatingly. Eddington, meanwhile, sees himself as a freedom fighter against a morally compromised Federation. Each is a tragic figure, loyal to something that puts them in direct opposition to their comrades. 9. Hilo Agathon and Chakotay. Carl, Hilo, Agathon, and Chakotay share a deep sense of personal ethics, especially regarding culture, love, and peace. Hilo's love for Sharon Asylum becomes a symbol of unity between races, just as Chakotay's Native American heritage and Maquis background give him a unique moral compass aboard Voyager. Both serve as calming presences, respected, honorable, and idealistic. They often advocate for peace and understanding, even when others want to fight. They're not loud leaders, but when they speak, people listen. Their relationships with the other, Sharon and the Maquis cause, also add complexity to their roles in their crews. 10. Ellen Tigh, Waxana Troy. It may seem surprising, but Ellen Tigh and Waxana Troy share a chaotic, emotionally manipulative, and occasionally profound spirit. Ellen plays the scheming, flirtatious wife of Saul Tigh, often meddling and maneuvering with mysterious motives. Waxana, though comic relief in TNG, is also a complicated woman, vain and theatrical, yet capable of deep wisdom. Both women are larger than life, unpredictable, and misunderstood,